I'm Glen. I'm 97. I wake up in the morning with nothing to do. That night, only half of it's done. That's how busy I've been. Spent 3 years in the Marine Corps. I worked at Caterpillar Tractor Company. Spent time in Brazil. Fished and hunted and played golf, played cards. Had a great life.
Well, we've been married 73 and 1/2 years, but who's counting? His health was excellent up until gallbladder surgery, and that led to Dr. Burke discovering that he had a heart valve problem. We did not know that.
I passed out a few times, and they decided that I needed a new heart valve. And I was too old for open heart surgery, so they went up to the groin, and it lasted over 6 years.
I've known Glenn now for the better part of 10 years and have been taking care of him. He was one of our first patients to ever have a TAVR placed going back roughly 7 years ago. So TAVR, or transcatheter aortic valve replacement, is where we put in a brand new aortic valve without doing open heart surgery, by using a catheter to put a new valve inside there and push the old valve out of the way.
In most of the cases, TAVR implants are extremely successful. And initially in Glen, he was symptomatically very much improved, and we were very happy with our initial results. But over time, the valve began to degenerate or change, and then he became somewhat symptomatic.
I went 6 years, and I played golf, and I fished, and I traveled, and I did everything.
And then the second one, that was very obvious because it just kind of happened overnight.
Life was not enjoyable. I just began to feel, I might say awful, but no appetite and no energy. I stopped walking 1.5 miles. It was just not a good life.
So when you're evaluating a 97-year-old person, there's always a question of what is the appropriate thing to do. Is it safe to do any procedures? Is there going to be any benefit to the procedure? And in this case, we thought there was a benefit to prolonging his life and improving his quality of life.
I mean, he's 97 years old, but he's 97 going on 60. He's got a lot of energy, and he wanted to get better.
The best option for him at 97 years old was to place a new valve inside that space.
We decided to use a new TAVR device because some of the attributes of that might be able to seal the leak he had in his old valve. When we implanted the TAVR device, initially we were very pleased. Much of the leak that he had surrounding the old valve had gone away, but we still had a little bit of leak left. So we decided to put a vascular plug in alongside the valve, and that worked beautifully.
The results, I think, are even better than they were 6-7 years ago. They released me on Sunday, the 16th, and I walked that Sunday, and I walked the Saturday, and I came home, and on Monday I was able to walk 1/2 mile. And within 2 or 3 days, I was up to 1 mile, and I'm over 1 mile most every day.
We saw him back in the office last week, and in his own words, we gave him his life back. So he's back to doing his walks, feels significantly better, and our hope is that we're going to keep him around for another 7 years or so, just like we did the last time.
We think we have a very good life. We don't know how much longer that will be, but we're hoping for a few more good years.
Keep active. You got to keep going and moving and do things. Live every day and be active, and I just can't tell you what a fine group of doctors and nurses that I had 2 days in the hospital. I enjoyed it. I had the right team of doctors, and can't give them enough credit.